Have, hey y'all, your girl been sitting here. Listen, I'm a professional. Hey everybody. Literally. Hey everybody. Your girl thought she was live the whole time. I've been sitting here doing this whole thing the whole time. I didn't know if y'all knew, but I was sitting here for 5 minutes thinking I was live the whole time. Huh? So I do apologize for all of the things. Huh? We do apologize for all the things. We do have a unicorn Christmas tree. Huh? We have a unicorn Christmas tree. Huh? And since I thought everybody was here. Oh, okay. Yeah. So was I live? Was I not live? Or was I live the whole time? And I didn't know I was live. Listen. I'm a professional. Okay. Y'all come here for the next level content. Okay. Not only did I know that, but, your girl's sweating like a pig in a pork roast. That's what I was saying before I thought I was live, but I wasn't live. I love y'all. I don't know what y'all was looking at when y'all wasn't live. I know. And I was posting the things. And listen, like I said, total professional. Total professional. Okay, so like I was saying about the pig and the pork roast. Bailey Bale is here. Bethany. Oh my goodness. So glad to see everybody. Bailey, you actually came in when the live actually started. So congratulations, because Chrissy just knows all the things that are happening. Elliot, our big boy, and his Mima are here. We love to see it. Everyone's saying hello. It's so great. Hey, see, listen. It was just a dream. I was just sitting here thinking I was doing my live, but I didn't hit the live button. But it's fine. The playback will be amazing, or it might not be. I'm not sure. But I was in here talking to myself, and I was wondering why. I was like, man, the chat's not catching up. And is it just me, or you know? All the love for Bailey. We love our love Belle. Thank you, Katie. I appreciate it so much. Oh, I appreciate it so much. I had got everything down except hit the live. And I looked and it was like live. So we're here. We're here for. Besides, we just needed a little 10-minute warm up. You need that behind the scenes content. Maria's Mantle. Hello, sister. Thank you for joining. Okay, so what I was saying behind the scenes, and I don't even know how that looked. I don't even know, but I was saying, because I always do my live, and so far this is the second one, and we got baby Elliot here. If y'all didn't know, hello, we have baby Elliot in the house as well. Hey, oh gosh, you guys say hello to my youngest brother in the chat. What's up, Clay? Hi, Erica. Bethany's sister. Oh, y'all was just staring at my thumbnail. Oh my goodness. Okay, so what I was saying to myself prior to the stream was that it's hotter than a pig in a pork roast. Okay, only a pig could sweat this much, huh? Not saying me, but I'm saying only Jesus can make a pig, an animal that we can eat from the rooter to the tutor. Now, if you don't eat pork, I'm so sorry for health reasons and all that, but your girl enjoys her some pork. It is absolutely the best, and it's necessary. It's necessary. It's necessary. Yeah, so I'm indeed sweating like a pig in a pork roast, huh? All I need is a paper plate and maybe a couple pieces of bread. and then we'll be ready to go. We'll be ready to go. So yeah, so get your beverages, because it's gonna be a lot of tea in this one. I ain't gonna hold y'all. My last stream, it was sweet. I had a lot of great books, but y'all, it's gonna be some tea. It's gonna be some tea in this one, and we're here for it. We thank God for it. Yeah, we thank God for it. Hey, Amanda, I love you, girl. Thank y'all so much for coming in, saying hello. It is definitely very warm here. Because Bailey lives not too far. And I live in Virginia, and it was easily like 60 degrees today. Because, hey, Virginia don't know what it want to do. Do we want to snow? Do we want it to be humid today? Do we want rain? What are we doing? What are we doing? And Lindsay says, give her the tea. Huh? Yes. Katie says, give her the tea. Yes. DNF December coming out. Let's just start with the DNFs, because I got things to say. I ain't gonna hold y'all. And by the way, I don't even have these books, and I'm not gonna sit here and act like I'm gonna try to share the screen, because we don't. But I will talk about the books, and I'm gonna link them when I do post the stream again on the channel. I'll have all the books linked in the description box, along with any booktubers or anybody that I'm talking about. But yeah, we're gonna be here. The hot tea. Penny says she wants her winter bag. Girl, I don't even know. I just give me a nice spring day. You know, give me a not so cold, not so hot. You know, that's all I want. That's all I want. That's all I want. Give me a not so hot. So on my Goodreads, which will be linked in the channel description below. I definitely do a lot of Tay is in the chat. Tay. Oh my goodness, sister. Oh my gosh. Let's put some teas in the chat for Tay. Girl. So good to see you, sister, in the chat. So good to see you. So good to see you. Oh my goodness. I just love seeing all the love in the chat, you guys. It's just literally the best. It's literally the best. And thank y'all so much for coming in and saying hello. Everyone saying tea. We love it. We love it. Hi, Jari. Welcome. You just coming in, girl, because the tea about to get real hot. So you went here just in the nick of time. In the nick of time. Yes. Okay, so the first book on the list, I Let You Go by Claire McIntosh. Okay, I'm not even going to act like I know what I'm doing right now, but we're just going to go on in faith. Okay, If I Let You Go. So I DNF'd this at 30%. It was just not my cup of tea, y'all. It was like, at first, this was actually a buddy read I did with my sissy. Hey, sissy, I love you. I see you, girl. We decided to do a thriller again. And I just actually really love buddy reading in general. And I definitely wanted to do a buddy read with her. So we kind of decided, went back and forth, what kind of thriller that we wanted to read this time, because we did read Inheritance Games, and y'all know I have a YA trash hard sky, huh? We the same. We all love us a YA trash scenario with the T and our toxic kings, huh? So If I Let You Go by Claire McIntosh, yeah, DNF this at 30%. It just seemed to have like a repetitive quality. So essentially, it's about a woman. And she actually, oh, I'm in the chat. What? Chrissie? Oh, snap. Tiffany. Oh, my goodness. So good. So good to see you, sister. I'm sorry. I saw you pop up. I had to say, hey, girl. Hey, girl. Hey. Love you, girl. So glad everybody's coming in the chat. But so yeah, I Let You Go by Claire McIntosh. Okay. So essentially, there is a mom and a tragic incident happens with her child, gets in an accident. There's a murder. Like the child passes away in this accident. And of course, that is very triggering. So actually, I want to let y'all know, definitely, if you have any kind of content warnings for, child death, murder, suicidal things like that, probably want to pass on this like I did, but I DNF'd it. So ain't nobody, I'm not going to say that I don't recommend books I DNF, but I tend not to. You know what I'm saying? It's a shaky, don't read it. You know what I mean? You know what I'm saying? But I ain't gonna hold Claire. Because I do have a book from her from Book of the Month. But again, Book of the Month, another toxic situation. Like, I don't even Book of the Month. We're gonna move on. We're gonna talk about that again. We're gonna talk about that again. We're gonna talk about that later. But in the situation, she has something happen to her, and then you follow the detective that's trying to solve this case. And then you are following this mother in mourning for her son. Of course, she's divorced. The father is not in the picture. And so it just tended to have a very like a very repetitive nature to it. And I just couldn't get with it. It was just really boring. And I could see the main character or some of the characters having a bit of a inappropriate relationship. So there was a bit of a cheating trope going on there, and your girl we ain't about all of that. You know what I'm saying? We're not about all that. And the character is married, he has a loving wife, and all these different things. And it's just like, but for why do you have to have this inappropriate relationship? Can't you just get to the mystery? This woman's son has passed away, and you around here trying to figure out who the next stop gonna be. You know what I'm saying? Like, I didn't like that. I didn't particularly care for that. And on top of that, the story was just so boring and repetitive. It just went on and on and on. And I'm like, is he gonna stop looking at this person, this girl, stop having these inappropriate discussions with this coworker, or is he going to get down to solving this case? And then the mother herself, like, I think she was an unreliable narrator. So those are just some of the things that I could just not deal with. So he could just miss me with all that. So that failed. It failed. So let's catch up in the chat, see what everyone's talking about. Penny said she read that book a long time ago. Let You Go. It was a new thriller. It was okay. I would agree, Penny. Oh, Tiffany and Julie. Hey, Julie. My bestie's in the chat, y'all. Oh my gosh. Derry. Oh my gosh. Robin Hobb, royalty in the building. Derry. Oh my gosh. Thank you so much for stopping by. Your presence means so much to me. I'm going to be talking Hobb tonight too. So we're going to be going for a little bit. So hopefully you can come back and say hello. Yes, Guy says our toxic relationships with Book of the Month. So legit. Everyone saying hello. Yes. Thank you, Sky. Thank you so much. Yes, don't forget to hit that like button on the stream. Hey, Amanda, I'm just saying, who the next stop? Hey, I'm just saying, we're just going to keep it authentic. Huh? But I'm just saying, that's why I DNF'd it, because there's just some things that are just like, could you just miss me with that? But we like tea, but there's like a little balance there. There's a perfect mix for me when I'm looking for in books like that. Is this like, someone, just trying to stir up a dynamic in a relationship just for drama? And how well does the author do it? And if that works for me as a reader. Now, it may work for some other people, but it didn't really work for me. So Penny, we right here, girl. We right here. All right. So the next book that I DNF'd, let me. Okay. So the next one. Ooh, This may make some of the fantasy heads a little upset with your girl, but we're going to go for it. We are going to go for it. Bye, Derry. Thank you so much. Woo! So, Patrick Ruffus, The Name of the Wind. Name of the Wind. Name of the Wind. Name of the Wind. DNF this book at 57%. Let me take some more. I gotta D D D N N N F F F F DNF. Yeah, DNF this hard. I'm not even gonna hold you. Because he just had to go. Okay, so you're absolutely right, Scott. He had to go. So this is gonna be controversial. I do have my notes because I do kind of wanna put it on, but we're gonna go for it. I really don't understand the hype of this book. And low key, this book is not a low key, but first, shout out to Sky. This was our buddy read that we were gonna read in November. A buddy read November was huge. I read a lot of great books, but we started with the DNF first because we just need the tea. And so for probably about 2 years or so, I had heard a lot about Patrick Ruffus because, fantasy head here. And I kind of been out of the high fantasy for a while. I was reading some other kind of fantasy books. And so I kind of got back into some of the more modern, up-to-date fantasy. And Patrick Ruffus was one of the authors that came up a lot, along with Brent Weeks. And that's saying a lot if I'm still reading Brent Weeks. Ooh, that's saying a lot. If I can't read Patrick, I'm reading Brent. I'm gonna leave that there too. I'm gonna leave that there. We're gonna move right along. So I had heard so many different things about this book, about Name of the Wind. Everyone loved it. Everyone's like, oh my gosh, it's just everything we need in this community. It's just all the fantasy. It's just all the things. It's just hype. And I get a little nervous when I do hear a book that is overhyped. Now, disclaimer, I do hype Hobb, but Hobb finished her books. Hobb finished her 16-book series, okay? Patrick ain't finished his books yet. So I'm just saying he ain't finished his series yet, and I don't even know why, because he need to finish his series. So right there is a tick for me. You can't even finish your book. Brent Weeks done finished his 5-book series. Where you at, bruh? Huh? Finish your series. So it's kind of like, what's the holdup with that? So I went in very open-minded, right? Very excited to read this, but I heard some very interesting things as well. And I knew the second book, which is called A Wise Man's Fear, had some fairies in it. Now, first, your girl, if you didn't know, I don't like fairies. I don't like reading about fairies. That's just like a fantasy book, fantastical element that I don't like to read. I don't prefer it. So if it's a fairy, I'm like, your girl is out. Okay. So that's the first thing I ask about. Okay, was these fairies? Is there fairies in this? Because if ain't no fairies, if it's no fairies, then I'm good. And that's kind of why I DNF'd the Cruel Prince YA series, because it was fairies, and I'm like, yeah, not my thing. But anyway, back to old Patrick Ruffus, the entitled Self King. I said it. So he so in this book, so I went in very I felt like I was pretty prepared. I tried to be definitely in the middle of the road, and it started off okay. It started off pretty good. First 75 pages. Essentially, it's a story within a story. I'll get to that later, but I do kind of want to give you a premise of what it's about if you haven't heard of Name of the Wind before. But it's a story within a story about a Kavoth, and he is someone in this particular world. They have scribes who go and they collect stories from very interesting people. And this particular person, who obviously had a history with Kavoth, comes to his tavern where he is, and he has like a little apprentice or someone who works in this tavern. But Kavoth isn't what he appears to be. He has a very extensive, exorbitant, hyped up, self-inflated for no reason kind of story. And so that's where it picks up at. So the prose in it is very I'm gonna tell you my story, but I'm gonna tell you a story within a story within a story. And I'm just like, can't you just tell me the story? So essentially I just could not get with it. I couldn't get with it because I felt like I didn't feel connected to the character of Kavoth. I really felt like, I don't know what you call a male, would you call a female, like a female in a story, like a Mary Sue. So I don't know what you would call a male version of that, but he kind of gave me that vibe, right? Like he just couldn't fail at anything. He had a very tragic past with his parents. And you would think that would impact the character in an emotional way, even situationally. But it's as if Patrick just skipped over all of that and was like, we just gonna get to the stuff. And then he didn't even answer the questions that he puts towards the reader. And I just found myself slogging through it, not caring. It literally took me 2 months. Like I started it in November and I DNF'd it December, like halfway, December 15th or something like that, halfway through December. And I was just like, I cannot do this. I will not put myself through it. I definitely tried to really understand where the hype was with this book. I think that I really don't, the hype just missed me. And I really feel like this is overhyped. And even so to the point where I don't really think that I can't even see, and this is gonna make sense because there's a book I'm gonna talk about later, House of Leaves, that is wild, by the way, and very, very divisive and very weird kind of setup of a book, but there's an appreciation for it, right? I have something I can follow, right? But with in my opinion, with Patrick Rothfuss, there's just nothing tangible. It's like the character just reads very shallow and self-entitled, and all I can hear is Patrick Rothfuss saying, I'm the guy, look at me, look at me, look at me. And it's like, this book is just too aware of itself, too aware of the audience, and for me it just ain't work. So that was probably a very long rant, but it just didn't work. And let me see what other things I said in my review. Yeah, it lacked authenticity of the character to me. And also too, I want to point out that I know what things I look for in a book. Like I'm a character driven reader. Like I like character, and then plot, and then tone and themes. So it doesn't necessarily have to be, a book doesn't have to meet all those things for me. Like I'm okay with, reading a book that's like 3 stars or whatever, but still it's just kind of like, this just didn't work for me. And so I know it's going to be controversial. I know there's some people that really enjoyed it. They loved the book. And it just didn't work for me. I couldn't pick up what it was putting down. I literally didn't even see what it put down. So that's wild. So, but that's the tea for that one. So let me see. Oh my goodness. Yeah. So let's catch up in the chat and see what everybody talking about. Name of the Wind tea. Yeah, Penny, you have, yeah. And I don't know, Penny, I think that there might be a reason your fantasy radar is going off. Why? And I feel like you and I are definitely have similar reading tastes, I think, as far as fantasy books. So yeah, I don't know, you guys. Yeah. Sky, oh, we felt that, buddy. We tried. Sky, I don't know how far you got it before you were like, hey, yeah, I'm out. Brent, but not Patrick. Yeah, exactly. Brent, but not Patrick. So Brent Weeks is definitely different. His stories are very predictable. I'm on the 3rd book in his Blinding Light series. I think that's the name of the series, and I'm enjoying it. Yeah, he does have a lot of, he does explain the female anatomy too much. That gets on my nerves. And I said, I hope his editor told him to cut some of that out, because, bro, we don't need to hear about bosoms and breasts the whole time. So I'm glad they told him to cut that out. But aside from that, I really am enjoying Brent Weeks. And so Ooh, that's a one. But hey, Lindsay, if it falls, it falls, sis. Patrick not finishing is why I haven't read. Absolutely. There's no reason why he shouldn't have finished it. Sarah J. Mass entered the fairy chat. Yeah. Yeah, I don't like fairies. Yeah, he definitely self-entitled. Yeah. Exception level brother. Bruh, it's a whole thing. Thank you. The Gary Stew. That's it. He definitely had a Gary Stew going on. Yeah. House of Leaves. Ooh. Lindsay, you got strong opinions about that, huh? Oh, Grape Jelly Library. Hey, sister. Welcome to the live stream. Thank you so much. Sky, have fun. Thank you so much for showing up and hanging out. Yeah. I'll be waiting for my dissertation. Woo, yes, girl. Outlander is coming, Amanda. You must have seen it. You must have peeped it. Hey, Bethany. Absolutely. Male chauvinist at the door, because that's definitely what that read for me, for sure. So the next book I told y'all was DNF December. I wasn't even going to hold you. Like, I DNF'd some books this December, and this December, like, tomorrow's the 31st, but yeah, and I definitely, I really try to give a book a benefit of a doubt. There's some books where I read in the first 3 sentences. I've DNF'd a book at like 5 sentences to be like, this is in no way is Paranesi. I'm looking at you, Paranesi. I said, nope, 1,000 times no for Paranesi. So that's not ever going to happen. But there's some books that I really am intrigued about, and I try to give it a benefit of a doubt. Yeah. Oh, Elliot said, Mima, you give everybody a chance. Oh, he's so sweet. He said his Mima give everybody a chance. You're so precious. You're just so precious. So the next book I DNF'd was Midnight in the Everwood. I DNF'd this at 47%. It's by Maria Kunizier. Don't get me lying, y'all. Midnight in the Everwood. My Goodreads will be linked below. It's on the DNF shelf. If it falls shelf. So this straight up, I'm gonna just tell you, this was a beautiful cover, and it straight up lied to me. It said, girl, you're gonna have a dark, thrilling Nutcracker retelling. You are just going to be swept away, and the sugar plum fairies and the Nutcracker and the whimsy and the angst and all of the things. And honey, where was the Nutcracker? Let me find out where the Nutcracker was. If you've read Midnight in the Everwood, does the Nutcracker ever show up? I was too upset to find out. I didn't even want to Google and find out, because I had it with trying to figure out where this Nutcracker was, because that's all I wanted to know. And the cover is beautiful. The atmosphere is beautiful too. Like, the atmosphere that she paints is absolutely beautiful. You feel the winter. It's so immersive. But the story is just, where was the Nutcracker? That's why I DNF'd it, because I'm going through the story, and it's like, young girl, she's a ballerina. Her parents say, nah, girl, you just gonna be married. You ain't gonna be right here doing all that dancing and stuff, huh? You gonna take your ballerina shoes and hang up in the closet, and you gonna marry this man over here, because that's what you do, okay? So she's like, no. I'm a big girl. I'm independent. I'm gonna dance and pirouette and do all the things, because that's what I need to do. And so she meets a mysterious man, and then there you go. She gets Wicks. Listen to me. My country accent got me. She gets Wicks. I said it wrong again. She goes into this magical place, right? And I'm thinking, okay, the Nutcracker gonna be here. 20%. Okay, the Nutcracker will show up anytime now. Okay, there's no Nutcracker. Okay, well, how's she gonna get through the land without him? Where's the Nutcracker? Huh? Where? Thank you, Amanda. Where the Nutcracker at? Huh? Jari, you ain't never lied, huh? You gotta watch out for these covers because they lie to you, huh? Now, the people that are designing these covers, the illustrators who design these covers, baby, they need raises, huh? They need raises because they selling these books. They selling these books, y'all. They are selling these books, and I am one of the people that's buying them. Because these books be getting you. And I'm like, okay, the story ain't living up to the cover. Now, y'all, these are just my opinions about these DNF books. Now, if you've loved it and it was your experience, I am so happy. Please let me know what I missed. And please, and hopefully I missed the Nutcracker because I still ain't seen him. So, and then aside from that, the Nutcracker not being there, it was just boring. It was just boring. And I knew it was a YA, right? So I knew it was gonna have like that angsty YA thing, and that's okay. Like I went into that anticipating that, but I just couldn't get with it. I couldn't get with it. It was just, yeah, it was just a harsh. It was just harsh. So I said the Nutcracker ain't there. Ain't nothing else to read. So on to the next. On to the next. On to the next. Yes. Oh my goodness. Excuse me. Yes. Oh, Tiffany said, "Oh man, wanted to try Midnight in Everwood. Cover is so pretty, girl. It is. It is." Miriam didn't love that one either. I'm glad you DNF'd it. Yeah. She was telling me about it. She was like, "Girl, no." Yes, it is a unicorn tree. Mini Elliot. I like to call the mini Elliot. This is baby Elliot. Okay, baby Elliot, mini Elliot, and then our big boy. Our big boy, huh? There's only one you, baby. No one will replace you, okay? Don't feel bad, okay? Yeah. Yeah, won't no Nutcracker. Won't no Nutcracker. Hey, hey, ain't nothing wrong with being a Meemaw, huh? That's the best. Now, it could be that and I unhauled the book, so I don't have it. I unhauled the other book, so it could have been a reimagining. So I might need to go back and see, because if they marketed the book as a reimagining, then of course it wouldn't be a Nutcracker, but I don't recall that. I thought it was a retelling, so I was expecting the Nutcracker. Ooh, I'm gonna have to check that out. I'm not gonna even try to enunciate that unless y'all want the last hendency. That ain't how you say it, but I've heard some good things about that. Yes. Okay, so I think those are all the books I DNF'd over the past for November and December, and we thank God for that. It wasn't too many as well. So let's get to the books that I have one book that I don't have a copy of, and it was a 5-star read. So let me get that one up. It is called and thank y'all so much for hanging out with me. I appreciate it so much. Thank you so much for hanging out. It's called Help Is Here by Max Lucado, finding fresh strength and purpose and power of the Holy Spirit. And so this book I actually read with my best friend, and it was such a wonderful reading experience. Of course, I gave it 5 stars. I really want to focus in, and I know in 2021 I read a lot of Christian nonfiction. This year I didn't read as much Christian nonfiction, but I really want to focus back on reading my Christian nonfiction books in 2023. So that will be a goal of mine. Definitely want to keep balancing my reading for those things, because my faith and really feeding my spirit and focusing on those things really helps balance all the other areas of my life. And so I really seek to do that. And so Help Is Here was just so powerful, and it was awesome to actually buddy read this book with my friend, and for us to really talk and to minister to one another about it. It just had so many amazing quotes and nuggets that you can garner from. And there's this, I'll read a few to you that were really stood out for me. And it says, there is a weariness among us. We are weary from the loads we carry and the challenges. And I mean, that's such a powerful statement, because we walk around, we have this weight on us. And sometimes it's a lot of the things that we put on ourselves, a lot of the pressure, a lot of the fear of missing out and trying to keep up with an expectation that's not realistic for us, that we put on ourselves, right? And the Lord is like, hey, you don't have to do all that. Like, you don't have to strive. You don't have to do all those things, because there is help. And the Holy Spirit is here to help us, to lead us in all truth, and to encourage us and to embolden us to do the will of the Father here today, right now, where our feet are. So if we just lean in and we trust him in everything, and that's so hard to do, to walk by faith and to trust the Holy Spirit when he leads us to do a thing, or when he says, hey, sis, I'm going to need to put my hand over your mouth because you around here wilding. That's usually me. I'm going to put my, you know what I'm saying? And so it's just such a wonderful, wonderful book. I really enjoy Max Lucado. I recommend all of the books. I actually read Be Anxious for Nothing last year, which was, I think that's his latest book. It was absolutely phenomenal. Again, definitely around the COVID and dealing with all that anxiousness and that anxiety that we have. Another quote that was so powerful is, Spirit is your life-giving friend, here to lead you home. And that's such, that like encouraged my heart, that the Holy Spirit is a life-giving friend. The Holy Spirit will energize us. He will give us peace. He will give us clarity. He will remind us of things that we have forgotten, and he'll admonish us. He'll be like, yeah, that's not what you need to do. Or, he will say, this is what I have for you to do. And you can't look towards other people or other things, or even to yourself, and get all puffed up thinking you did, you all of that, and your behavior is trash. So walking with the Lord is going to challenge us to be the person that God wants us to be. And that's the walk I'm committed to. And it is not easy. I'll be wanting to do all the other things, but the Lord uses all of the things that he has in his kingdom to minister, to uplift, and to edify. And this community has been that for me, and I'm so glad to be a part of it, to share and to inspire and to pass on the love of Jesus and acknowledge him in all the things that we do. And so Help Is Here was just so powerful. There was so many other quotes that I had, but I need to get a copy of it as well. But because I'll be on those library loans. I had already hit my allotment of books, so I couldn't, how my financial situation was sweat up at the time. Your girl ain't gonna be able to get all the books, but the library's here, it sets us free, and gives us free books. We thank God. Okay. Yes. So you guys definitely have to check that out. Oh, Lindsay, girl, thank you so much. Max Lucado is so good. Yes, balance. Amen. Yes. Lindsay says, I feel you, sis. I want to do the same in the new year. Absolutely. Carmen, hey, sister. No worries, girl. We're going to be going for a little bit because I ain't even got to some of these books. And so I appreciate y'all for still hanging in there. 45 minutes in. Granted, the 10 minutes before, we just going to move on, The 10 minutes before, We got a bit of a rusty start, Yes. Oh, thank you. Everyone saying hello to Carmen. Yes, Jari, you got to check the book out. Stacy, hello, welcome. Yes, Tay, you definitely got to read Max. It's his, and what I really love about Max Lucado as well is that his books are so accessible. Like, there are some Christian fiction, Christian nonfiction books that are very academic, very focus on eschatology and apology and things like that, apologia. But his books are for the layman, and he pulls out of scripture. The Holy Spirit enlightens the scriptures for him to really encourage believers in whatever topic that he's talking about. And it's so applicable. Like, he gives examples of his life. And so we can't discount the things that we experience, or even the mundane everyday things that we do. God is magnified in all of that, and there is evidence of him in everything that we do if we only look to see it. And so yeah, definitely Max Lucado, one of my favorite authors for sure. I'm so happy I found you, Penny, because girl, hey, Penny, Hobb emotional support group, we're gonna be coming in hot, huh? We're coming in hot. Stay tuned. Stay tuned. Yes. Oh, you guys are making my heart so glad. Oh, so glad. Okay, so let's get to the actual book. See, I got these. Hold on. Wait, we're ready here. Elliot, you're fine. Don't be nervous. I'm just turning it around. Okay. Are y'all ready for this next book? I don't know if y'all ready for this next book. Death by Bubble Tea. What? Yes, Death by Bubble Tea. Huh? Who? What? Death by Bubble Tea. Oh my goodness. Death by Bubble Tea. Oh my goodness. Death by Bubble Tea. This book, Buddy Reed. Oh, thank y'all so much. Yes, Stacy, this is little Elliot. Mini Elliot, and then big boy Elliot. Yeah, Death by Bubble Tea. So good. Again, this was a part of Buddy Read November. I read this with Amanda. Hey girl, hey. Lindsay, hey girl, hey. Sky, hey girl, hey. Yay. It was so good. And also Amanda gifted this book to me earlier in the fall. So thank you again, sister, for thinking of me and gifting me this book. And if y'all don't know Chrissie and the things that she likes, I love unicorns, obviously, but I love boba tea. And I recently discovered it this summer because all the little children's was talking about, hey, boba. And I was like, what is boba? I'm 78. I need to find out what these little children's is talking about to see if it's something that I'd be interested in. Lo and behold, I had a boba shop right up the street from my house. And I said, well, let's go and find out. And I've been on an experiment, and I love boba. I have boba every Friday. I was trying to get it straight today, but then how the stream was set up in the beginning and how my organization is so planned out, it all worked out that way. But Death by Bubble Tea is by Jennifer J. Chow, and it's about Yale Yee. She discovers, she comes back home, and I think she's lost her job, and her father asks her she's working at her father's restaurant in the LA night market. I've heard so many things about the LA night market. I would love to go visit there. And so, yeah, so her and her cousin, by the way, is like this bougie girl from way across the way. And she's like, hey girl, hey, let's, I need to go see all the things, do all the things. Well, lo and behold, her father's like, listen, we need to make a presence out here in this LA night market. So let's get a stall, make your famous boba, go for it. He was like, the kiddies will love the boba. Lo and behold, somebody dies, huh? Somebody drinks their boba, and then boom, their body's in the alleyway. Who done did it? We need to find out. So Yee, she is such I just loved her character. She was just so good. This is one, if you haven't read a cozy mystery, if I hadn't mentioned this before, this is a cozy mystery. Cozy mysteries are just what they are. Cozy, not imposing, lots of literary nods, very sweet and charming. And this was everything you could, boba, food descriptions. It's annotated as well. Your girl will really annotate cozy mysteries like that. But let's she had me at this. Where's it at? And the girls, when we was reading it together, I was like, oh no, she didn't put that in there. No, she didn't put that in there. Huh? No, she didn't. I can't even find it now. I'm prepared. Hold on. What is and I really enjoyed the fact that the character, she said, I loved Pride and Prejudice, and my old copy was all tattered with the words almost rubbed off the title. Like, the girl loves Pride and Prejudice. She's actually like a 78-year-old woman, huh? Really, her character, she doesn't have any kind of technology on her. She's stuck in, 95, and she's really not trying to, she don't know how to drive, and I find that very endearing for her character. I found that very it was very funny as well. And I don't know if saying this is going to spoil it or anything, but usually in mysteries, there's usually in cozy mystery series, usually there's like a kind of like a potential romantic interest or a setup for like a romantic love triangle. And we really didn't get that here. And I thought that was very refreshing. And not that it's bad in other cozy mysteries, but I really liked how refreshing that was. It was just Gail and her cousin Celine just right here trying to figure out who killed who. And it was looking real sketchy. I was like, y'all going to jail. Y'all legit going to jail. Ain't no way it's out. Bethany asks, is it clean? Yes, it is actually very clean. There is a little bit, maybe there's a little bit of descriptions about a little minor violence there, and of course, of the dead body, but it's handled very like gently. It's kind of like graced over a little bit, but as far as there's no like romantic tension or lust or anything like that. So it is very clean. It's so sweet and enduring. It's really it's perfect for a bookish cozy mystery. Like, I'm not even gonna hold you. It's just so, and the mystery was pretty good. Like, I got halfway through and I still ain't know who did it. But then after a while, I was like, okay, I think I know who did it. And I was right. I was right. But yeah, cozy mysteries are so much fun. Yes. Yeah, like Lindsay said, not normally dark like normal mysteries or thrillers. Yeah. Stacey says, geez, I feel old and out of touch. I just had to look up boba tea. Girl, don't feel bad. Huh? Don't feel bad. I am old and out of touch. Are you kidding? Huh? When I tell people how old I am, they said, okay. I say I am an auntie. We'll just call it that, huh? Just an auntie. So don't feel bad, Stacey, honey, because I didn't know what boba was before either. Huh? So we all in this together. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, exactly. No romance at all in the first one. Yeah. Liz is like, she ain't figure it out either. It was a pretty good mystery. It was so good. And it was even better that I got to buddy read it with my girls. It was so much fun. And I think we were reading it doing Sky's reading sprints. If y'all didn't know, I'm going to link Sky's reading sprints in the description below. Literally they're my favorite sprints. And I know she my girl, so I'm going to be biased. You can too. I just love Sky's reading sprints. Oh, she does she stays on track with it. We talk for 10, we reading for 20 or 30. We appreciate that. And so I started reading this during one of her sprints, and it was so much fun. So definitely if you can find someone to read it, you can let me know. I'll reread this again. I'm not even going to hold you. I would totally reread this again. I don't normally say that about cozy mysteries. There's another one I read by Elliot Adams. Lord, I can't think of the name. Mystery out. Let me go get it. Stop acting like I can't go get it. So yeah. So this is the other mystery, Murder in the Mystery Suite. I think I gave this 4.5 stars and this one 4 stars. So again, these are great cozy mysteries. I know Pride and Paperback, she has great mystery recommendations. And there's another, and I always do this, I can't remember this young lady's name, but she has great cozy mystery recommendations, but cozy mysteries are so much fun. I highly recommend them. You reading them. It's awesome. So awesome. Yeah, Carmen. Carmen says, love when I can figure out the mystery before the reveal. Also, I really need to get into cozy. Still haven't read any. Yes, girl. Totally. Yes. Cozy mystery. So satisfying. Stacy says she is a grandma. You can guess I'm old. We'll try this book out. Readers got to read. Welcome. Hello. Welcome. Awesome. Oh, I didn't know that she has other books with a cat. Oh, wow. We're going to have to check that out. Oh, absolutely, Lindsay. They are total cozy mysteries are really good palate cleansers. I totally agree. Yeah. Yes, Amanda, that's a good one. Apple cider slang is great. I need to check that one out too. Yeah. I'm so glad I convinced you, Tiffany. So glad. So the next, and I don't have no particular order, but the next book I read, and actually this is a series I finished this year, was the If I Run series by Terry Blackstock. This is a Christian suspense. I wouldn't say it's a romantic suspense, not really. There's a little bit in there, but it's really a Christian suspense series. And this is actually book 2. I had book 3 from the library because, you know, the girl, how things are set up. Library loans are very important. So, oh, hi. Hi, Katie. Welcome. Yes, If I Run series, I'm telling you, Carmen, girl, it is so good. It's so good. And I finished it. And Terry Blackstock, y'all, if y'all haven't read Terry Blackstock, I encourage you to do so. Her books are phenomenal. Like, I gave the first book 4 stars. This one I gave 5 stars, which is the second book. And it literally blew me away. I didn't think she was going to increase the tension. And I was wondering how she was going to increase the tension, increase the action, but she did it. And she does it with such honesty. Oh, she does it with such honesty. And the faith content in this series, you guys, I'm not even going to hold you. It is some of the best faith content I have ever read. Like, I have ever read. Like, she just comes with it. And honestly, I think she's the only Christian suspense. I don't know if I've read other Christian suspense before her. I'm not sure. I know biblical fiction is a Christian fiction subgenre I really enjoy. But yeah, this series was awesome. Essentially, if you don't know about this series, it starts with the first one. I think it's called If I Run. And it's about a girl named Casey Cox, and her friend is brutally murdered, and she's framed for the murder, and she knows that she's innocent, but she has to go on the run, and ensues all of these events. Meanwhile, it is a testament of all the people that she meets along the way. And there's a lady that she meets that encourages her about faith. And I really loved the growth of, you know, how she comes to faith in Jesus Christ. And then you have another character of the private investigator who's trying to track her down, and his issues, and he's also a man of faith. So to see 2 sides of them, and that another thing I really enjoyed about this series was that these characters are so realistic, they're grounded, and they deal with real issues, and they ask very hard questions. And the scriptures talk about we need to have an answer for people when they ask us of the faith that we believe in, correct? And Terry has an answer for the faith that she believes in. And that in and of itself is so powerful, so transformative. And I highly recommend Terry Blackstock for everybody. Like, she doesn't push the faith in your face. It's not something that preaches to you in the books. It's very organic. And her writing is so beautiful, so direct, so organic and natural and grounded. And it's so powerful. And I could not highly recommend this series. Like, and the thrill and the mystery and the action. I mean, my heart's going like this. I think I read this in one sitting. I'm not even going to hold you. I think I took one day to read it. And then the third book, I flew through that in a day or so. Like the suspense and the thrill, you just can't stop. You can't stop reading. You can't stop reading. And I'm not even going to hold you. You got to read it. You got to read it. And I need to get the third book because I could see myself reading this series again. Not even going to hold you. And so now I need to read more Terry Blackstock because she been here. She OG. I mean, she got books on way back in the day we got to check out. So I really enjoyed it. I really, really enjoyed it. So let's see what everybody talking about. Yes, Amanda loved the If I Run series. Absolutely, sis. Ooh, Lindsay, you got to do it, girl. Yes, Katie, got to do it. It's so good. Carmen says, Terry ruining all other Christian thrills for me because I still haven't found any as good as her. Girl, we the same. I don't even think I'm just gonna let it lay right there. I'm just gonna let it lay. Yeah. Amanda says it was the first series I read this year and I inhaled them. It's what made me love mystery and suspense. Absolutely. Absolutely. Great faith. And this series in particular, I had everyone listening to the audio. You was like, y'all gonna listen to this book, huh? All y'all need to get saved in here. Everybody need to get saved. Yeah, Terry Blackstock is so good. Tiffany says, this series was my favorite. I had to get the whole series at once because I didn't want to stop. Girl, you ain't never lied. That's all facts. Yes, please do. Yes. Yes, absolutely. I'm so glad you guys really enjoyed it. Yes, I'm so glad. Penny, girl, you're going to love it. Carmen says, no other author has made my palm sweat, my heart pound like Terry. The first series I read of hers was the New Point 91. 911 series. I was 14 and had to put it down for a minute. Yeah, I need to go back to some of her old stuff because she's been around for a long time. Tay says, I read my first Terry Blackstock this month. I love it. If I Run, it's definitely on my TBR. Yeah. Oh, you have to try State of Lies by Siri Michelle. That one made me, oh, wow. I'm going to have to check that out as well. I'm so glad you guys enjoyed it. So glad. So glad. So let's get to, I'm going to see if I had any other, I think that was the only Christian fiction book I had. So next we're going to get into some, Caraval. Y'all, I just want to shout out, okay? I just want to shout out. Everyone was talking about this. And again, YA Trash Heart, huh? YA Trash Heart all the way. And I thank y'all so much. We've been sitting here an hour and y'all are still hanging out with me as I gush about all these books I done read. Lord have mercy. I'm so humbled by that. I hope y'all are having fun. The Elliots, we all appreciate you, huh? Yeah. But Caraval by Stephanie Garber. Oh my goodness. This was the book I needed. And what, I have to say, what I really loved about this book was that it was so immersive. I will say though, it is kind, if I had to give like a bit of a rating, it's kind of like a PG-ish 13 because there are some things that are alluded to in the beginning of the book. There is some messy tea. There is some abuse that happens and that's alluded to with some of the characters in the beginning of the book. So just want to give you a heads up about that it could be a bit it could be a bit of a issue there. But yeah, so Caraval, so good. Ooh, how do I even explain this book? Okay, so in this world there's an island. And the island is magical. Who's surprised? And on this island, there is a magical competition, huh? And you have to get a special ticket, huh? To get to the island and to participate. And if you win the competition, then you can get a wish granted. I think you get a wish granted. I believe that's what it is. And look at the maps. Now I want to say, usually, I love maps in books. Okay, especially fantasy. What are we discussing? Of course, I'm a fantasy nerd. I love maps. And so look at this. This is a map of Caraval and all the different areas. And Stephanie Garber, I don't know, but I get the feeling that she's a woman of faith, because her author's note at the end kind of alluded to that. But for the most part, in the beginning, with those few things I mentioned, it's rather clean. And I just really enjoyed this. It was all the tea, all the YA angst that you just need in your life, and the twists and the turns and the drama. Right, Minnie Elliott, the drama. Just everything we need. Everything we need. I give it 4 stars. I have Legendary on the shelf. Look, I'm trying to get myself straight. It's over there. Y'all see the shelves. It's over there. I have Legendary on the shelf, and I flew through this book as well. And so I have the sequel series too. Amanda, appreciate you, girl. You should give the book to me too. So I appreciate that. But yeah, this was such a wonderful time. I gave this 4 stars. I loved it. I loved it. I loved it. I loved I just love how immersive it was. I enjoyed the magical elements of it, and how everywhere you turn, there was a new mystery. There was a new puzzle to solve. There was a mysterious, brooding male wondering if she's the one. And she's like, oh no, I am so enamored, but I belong to someone else. YA angst. We love it. We love to see it. We thank God for it. So yes, so good. So good. Yes. Bye, Stacy. Thank you. Oh, thank you so much. Thank you for stopping by. Happy New Year to you, sister. Thank you so much for stopping by, Katie. Love the Christmas movies. Love it. Hey, okay. Next, we have 7.5 Deaths of Evelyn Hardcastle by Stuart Turton. I buddy read this with Holly from Lovely Day with Holly. Holly and I, we have she and I, we could probably swap books and be satisfied with the books we read, because we literally read the same types of books when it comes to thrillers, mysteries, and fantasy. We have those same kinds of taste. She's definitely a book bestie for sure, and she actually read this. I think this was her 3rd time reading this, and she mentioned again, I read this in November. Buddy read November. Your girl had the buddy reads going. I was knocking them out, except for Patrick. We ain't talking about him, but I was knocking them out. And so yeah, 7.5 Deaths of Evelyn Hardcastle, y'all. This book was absolutely phenomenal. I could not. I didn't know what was happening. And I love when my expectations are subverted. Give me the story. Tell me what the framework is, and then say psych. I love it. I love when an author tells me psych. I love it. I love to get psyched out in a book. I love it to get psyched out of the book. This was absolutely wonderful. And I can't really. Okay, there's a lady. She died 7.5 times, and that's all I want to share with you, because to talk about it even more, I don't even want to read the back of it, because it kind of gives some things away as far as what's happening. And I think going in with having no idea about what's going to happen kind of makes the story so more immersive, and the tension. And I love the puzzle. Excuse me. I guess I need to take me a bit to drink. Hold on. Yeah. Julie, she said she loves 7.5 Deaths. Yes, book bestie. Love 7.5 Deaths. Lindsay asks, have I read Devil in Darkwater? Oh, she needs your opinion, Penny. But yeah, so this was just such a wonderful time, and it just left me spinning at every turn. And buddy reading it with Holly was so much fun. And I wish I could talk about it more, but I don't want to spoil anything, because too much is too much. too little is too much. You know what I'm saying? But I highly recommend this if you haven't. Devil in Dark Water, Lindsay, you had asked. I definitely plan on reading that at some point as well. So I'm so excited. I'm so excited to get into this too. Lindsay said for him to write long books, he can write a mystery that keeps you entertained the whole time. 100%. 100% facts. You're going to be literally entertained the entire time. I was going to give it, give 7.5 Deaths of Evelyn Hardcastle 5 stars, but the ending was ambiguous. And I don't particularly like ambiguous endings. I was like, you ain't going to tell me no more than that? Bruh, tell me more. Don't leave me hanging like that. Like, don't leave me hanging like that. So we love to see it. So, let's see. Do I still have Devil? No, I do not have Devil in Dark Water from the library. So I'm going to have to check it out and see. I know there was a few things about it that I was like, oh, I don't know, but I'm going to give it a valiant effort. Penny says that she DNF'd it a couple years back. She couldn't get into it at the time, but she needs another opinion first. But I'm glad to know that Devil in Dark Water is clean, and so is 7.5 Deaths of Evelyn Hardcastle as well. Pretty clean. Pretty clean. Yeah, no violence either. It's just really pretty much a mystery, a puzzle mystery. It's like one of those psychological, can I call it a psychological mystery? Because it's thrilling, but it's thrilling in a different way, not necessarily in a traditional thriller sense. I mean, there's who did it, you know, that kind of thing. But so yeah, y'all may want to get y'all beverage and take a sip because we about to get into something pretty good. Pretty good. Outlander. Can we say Outlander? Scottish Highland. Outlander. Amanda. She says she didn't beat the book. Outlander. 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 Now, this book is not clean. This book is not clean. Okay, this book is not clean. No. Not clean, y'all. Not clean. But daggone it, Diana can write. Diana can write, y'all. Diana can write. So Outlander is number one, Book Lover Amanda, one of her favorite books. And again, Buddy Read November. Sky and I were actually reading this. We read a lot of books together in November. Sky and I were reading this together a bit as well. And Amanda, one of her favorite books. So it was so great chatting with her and like, girl, this happened too. Now, context. I did watch Outlander, the first 3 seasons of Outlander a few years ago. And so I was aware of a lot of the triggering content that happened, but I was curious to read this because I found, especially now, like they are, producers, they're trying to find, now I guess folks have realized people like books and they like seeing things adapted. So there are a lot of TV adaptation shows like Game of Thrones and all. They better not adapt Hobb. I hope Hobb's like, we cannot adapt Hobb. Okay, that's absolutely out of the question. But they did adapt Game of Thrones. And my brother said 30 times. No, you did hit us with the Michael Jackson, bruh. So but really, but it's not okay. I'm gonna give context if I can stop laughing. Let me give context. So yeah, so I watched the show, and a lot of these shows, I read Game of Thrones, right? One of my favorite fantasy series of all time. And I read the books, and then I watched the show, and I was like, they have really over-sexualized, over-dramatized all the things that Grandpa George won't talking about. He didn't care nothing about that stuff. So I was optimistic going into this because I knew that being that Diana wrote this in the 90s, and Amanda, check me if I'm wrong on the date on this, when I could actually look in the book and see, but I think it was copywritten in, let me see here, like in the 90s. So Diana been in the game a long time. Like she been out here writing for years, probably since before I was 91. So she wrote this in 1991, right? So I was very optimistic going into this because I just felt that it was the show over sexualized. Now, I will say there is a very serious triggering event that happens towards the last 20% of this book. So be very prepared for that. Look up those trigger warnings. That part is the same. Okay, that part is the same. And it was like, oh, I did give it 4 stars, by the way. I do want to tell my rating. That was very tragic what happened to this particular character. But Diana just right. I mean, I was in Scottish Highland. I was with Jamie and Claire, and you guys, like, their love is so beautiful, and to see it grow and to grow from an attraction to a deep, meaningful relationship where they understand each other. And also too, these Jamie and Claire are married, so none of the adult activity occurs prior to them being married. So it is a love story within the confines of holy matrimony. Now it is, and when those scenes happen, it is very sweet and enduring, although a bit explicit. But again, you know, just keep that in mind. Totally, if it's, you know, I can see it being skippable because it's really, you know, it's what grown folk do. Okay, grown folk do what grown folk do, huh? But there's so much more that happens in the story. Like, it's not just that. And I was really disappointed to find out that the show just took all of that and just took it to 1,000. I'm like, you guys, like, there were so many great scenes here in this book that I wish they would have had in the show that they didn't have. And it's just the setting, her writing is so beautiful. If you love Robin Hobb, if you love lyrical writing, if you love just sitting in an atmosphere and just learning and just being swept away into a story, and you don't care about what's going to happen to the characters, you're just on the journey with them, you're going to really enjoy this book. But again, it is adult. There are a lot of other things that occur, but I'm telling you, I really enjoyed it. So Amanda, thank you for sharing this. I totally see what you love about the book. I can see why Diana's still around writing books. Girl been in the game since 1991. So she can write those scenes to be tasteful, even difficult scenes, like traumatic, violent things that happen, because it's 17th century. Like, Claire goes back into time. So there's a lot of things that occur in that time period that's historically accurate to that time period. So, you know, in regard to that, it's just absolutely, it was wonderful. So I had a good time with this. Total 4 stars. So I will say this, just because a TV show be nasty, the book may not be. I'm just saying. It might not be as bad is what I'm saying. So but yeah, enter at your own risk. Look up all the warnings and make sure it's something that your spirit and your heart can definitely handle. But I enjoyed it. Yeah. So let's catch up in the chat. Yeah, 1991. Oh yeah, okay. So Lindsay, I think you were talking about 7.5 Deaths of Evelyn, Hardcastle. Yeah, best love, Jamie and Claire. Yeah, Jamie and Claire, you guys. Yeah. Penny said, skip it. I skip all the sex scenes, just so y'all know, if you see my book. You see my books. But really, but there's and also, yes, Amanda, you're right. The audiobooks are absolutely amazing. I ain't gonna hold you. I did skip a couple scenes myself. I was like, ooh, we need to move on. But it was good. Carmen says, I'm not even allowed to sell Outlander at our thrift store. Our thrift store supports a Christian ministry, and they have a list of books and authors heavy such that cannot sell. Yeah, and they write. This is Carmen. This is definitely, yeah. If they got that standard, this, you won't ever see this book there. But yeah, Jari says she was nervous about reading this series due to social content in the shows. Yes. So if you've seen the show, there is in the end of season 1 and season 2, that major event still does occur. Okay. But as far as some of the other things, it's not. That probably was the biggest thing, I think, as far as explicit goes, in my opinion. But again, just definitely enter into that, your own discretion. But yeah. Yes, it's only not clean. Yeah, not clean series. Well, me, Chrissy, I read a lot of grim dark fantasy. So I definitely and usually those books aren't necessarily heavy on sexual content, but definitely on violence and darker, very, very, very dark characters. So sometimes that's not necessarily an issue for some author, some readers. So it could be violence, it could be other things, but just definitely, keep that in mind. Yeah, Bethany, it's good to know about the content. Definitely something I'll read when I'm older. Yeah, exactly, Bethany. Yeah, it's good that you guys pass that on for sure. So the next book I read, another buddy read, I actually read in December, Rice Bowman. Yeah. So, there's more comments. They made the end scene so bad, I'll never watch the episode and I won't. Yeah, the end was pretty bad. I definitely echo that sentiment, Amanda, for sure. Yeah, they buy books. Oh, that's so cool that they do that, Carmen. Yeah, I'm so yeah. Rice Bowman, God rest ye, Royal Gentleman. I read this with Kelly. Kelly reads a lot, and so delightful. So you guys want a buddy read? You girls always down for a good buddy read. I love buddy reading. It's so much fun. It's just I usually buddy read to be chill. It's just like this. I'm just gonna be in your DM real hard with videos talking about the book. So if that's your thing, you let me know to do buddy reads. But I am very engaged when I read books. So yeah, God rest ye, Royal Gentleman. This is Lady Georgina Randy. I can't ever say her name. Ranyak. Where's my uncle when I need it? Ranyak. Her and her husband. This is a series. It's a 16-book series. I wouldn't say it's a cozy. It was definitely a mystery series. If you really like Agatha Christie, you would enjoy Rice Bowman. She has a very Agatha Christie-like style to her writing. But her books, the mystery is a lot darker. So I wouldn't say this is a cozy, but it's kind of like a hybrid. So the mystery in of itself is kind of has a darker element to it. Like you kind of go into the depth and it's pretty descriptive. But the cozy aspect comes in with the food and the setting, especially in this book, with the immersion of Christmas and the winter time and all of the British food. I mean, I was looking like, what's kidney and eggs? Have y'all heard of kidney and eggs? I ain't never heard of kidney and eggs. I had to tell Mr. Librarian to look that junk up because I was like, I don't even know what kidneys and eggs is. But yeah, is it kidneys and leeks? What is it? Kidneys and I should have flagged it. Oh, I put the thing on back. I said, why are these words upside down? Because I'm a professional. I can't even find it. But yeah, this was good. I gave it 4 stars. It was so much fun. Buddy reading this with Kelly. And essentially they go on Christmas vacation with her family. Georgina is like 11th in throne in the line of the royal family. And what I really liked about this is this actually follows the British monarch that we know today. So the queen that recently passed away, God rest her soul, this follows her uncle who abdicated the throne, right? And her father who actually became king. So it's in that era of time before he abdicated, of course, but it's around that historical period. And Georgiana is a cousin, and a mystery happens, and she's like, she's on that secret government stuff with the queen, and so she solves this mystery. And it's very interesting to see how women, the agency that women have. She's Reese is very She handles that with care. She's very authentic to how a woman in the 1920s, she doesn't have a lot of agency as far as solving mysteries and being a detective and stuff. She just, Georgina just happen to be around when she need to be around, huh? She just happens to be around when she needs to be around. So she uses her agency as best as she can, but it's really good. And the mystery, I was like, say, who did what? It's pretty dark. I'm not even going to hold you. It's pretty dark. So I wouldn't say this is a cozy as far as the mystery is concerned, but definitely the food, like all the things, like all the cozy vibes, dark mystery. But I really had a good time with this, and I love me some. I recently realized that I'm like a royalty prince. Like, I really love hearing about the royals and all the tea that they got going on. This got a little tea. Now it's historical tea because we already know what happens in history, but the characters don't know. And so I'm really excited to see where Georgiana goes into when the prince abdicates. And also what's very interesting in this is that this is on the onset of the rise of Hitler. And so her husband is like a secret government agent or whatever. And he's like, yeah, Hitler's kind of suspicious, but we really don't know. So very interesting. I'm reading it like, y'all don't. And then her mama is messy. Her mama real messy. Her mama messy, but I really like Georgiana. She is 16 book series, so I have a few on my shelf over there. I have the first one, so I just kind of want to read them along and see where she's at in her journey and the mysteries that she solves. And so good. I really had a lot of fun with this one. Yeah. So, thank y'all so much for hanging in here with me. It's been so wonderful. It's just been it's been so wonderful. It's been so wonderful. So now to conclude, I do have, well, let me ask y'all, do y'all want to hear the Robin Hobb first, or do you want to talk about the books that I plan on reading or in January? Let me just do that. Let me just tell you about the books that I'm still currently reading. Here we go. House of Leaves. Oh my goodness. House of Leaves. I'm actually, my book bestie had, my best friend has actually finished this. Earlier this year, we said to each other, we would read each other's favorite books. One of my favorite books of all time is Dune by Frank Herbert. She read it earlier this summer, and House of Leaves is one of her favorite books. And so she's already finished, but we started it together. And I'm gonna tell you guys, unlike Patrick Ruffus, Mark finished his stuff, huh? I'm throwing a lot of Patrick Ruffus shade. I'm sorry, y'all. Oh, everyone was hot time. But yeah, so this is just such an amazing, oh man, it's such an amazing, maybe amazing isn't the right word, but it is an amazing, there's something amazing about it, but I haven't figured it out what it is yet. This is how do I explain this? Lindsay. Okay, so we got some House of Leaves tea. Again, House of Leaves is very divisive. I think Lindsay said she did want to burn it. I totally understand that. But this follows a character who finds a manuscript about a documentary that doesn't exist. And so we have a story within a story. Again, do y'all see the Patrick Ruffus parallels? We have a story within a story, but it's told in a very unique way. And I haven't finished it yet, but I will be continuing it as I go. It's definitely a dense read. It's taken me a couple months to get through it. Not because, yes, Julie, a story within a story. Not because I'm not entertained by it, but it's just a lot that's involved with it. It has a very academic, let me show you some of the pages. It's wild. And so you have to read this very strategically. And I would not recommend reading this by yourself. You do need adult supervision. And so my book bestie, Julie, and say hello to everybody in the chat, Julie. has been my adult supervision reading this. And we had to talk several times specifically to go over strategy and to figure out what I need to do, how I need to read this book. Again, I will not be an expert on any of that, but there is a specific subculture of readers who love this book, and I can understand, again, Patrick reference, I can understand why I can understand why there is people who enjoy it and people who really, really, really love the story, just for the fact alone that the amount of effort and thought that went into putting this book together is just absolutely phenomenal. I'm just blown away by how structured he had to make the story, how everything lines up, how a lot of it is a bunch of malarkey, and I think that's intentional. But the experience, just for the experience, I'm gonna keep this on my shelf because, hey, yeah, I'm gonna keep this on my shelf. Just and I can't even hold you. I got stuff in here, notes, and I'm gonna just try to show y'all all my annotations. It comes to a point where I just started tabbing stuff because the colors don't mean nothing on the tabs. Usually the tabs mean stuff, but like stuff like this, like what are we doing? I don't who, huh? So venturing without strong supervision. Yeah. So Julie, if you can provide guidance as well, and I think, it's gonna be hard for me to explain it, y'all. And I usually try to do a good job explaining things, but this book took me to a place in a good way, in a challenging way. It is just wild. And I just feel like it's Solomon in Ecclesiastes that says everything is vanity. Everything means nothing. That's this. But it means something, but it don't mean nothing. But it means something. And people did PhD dissertations about this book. But Mark is like, y'all, it don't mean nothing. But it means something. But it don't mean what you think it means. It means malarkey. Huh? So, but still, a really, really interesting experience to read, and I'm so glad that I've decided to stick with it, and I'm going to keep this book on my shelf because I attained it. I attained this thing, and I will attain it. So Julie girl, thank you so much for being here, being so supportive. We appreciate you. I'll be calling you later though when I pick it up and start reading it. Julie says, read every chapter twice. First way, read the text, and second way, read the footnotes. What she said, we agree and we concur. What she said. What she said. So, yes. Oh, all the books are falling. All the books are falling. Oh, my goodness. Oh, my goodness. Yeah. Exactly. Yeah, you definitely... Yeah. So Julie also says, and know that how you normally read footnotes is not how you read the footnotes here. Absolutely. Like academically reading footnotes. Oh, my head. Yeah, it's very intense and it's very intentional. Okay. And so that's one thing that I really went in, and it's very, very, very dark. Very, very dark characters. So you definitely want to check it out. Oh, hello. Can't stay long, but I want to stop and say Happy New Year and thanks for the videos. They have brought me so much joy this past season. Happy reading. Oh, thank you so much, Rob Crewman 36. Thank you for stopping by. I definitely appreciate it so much. Thank you. Thank you. Oh, my goodness, girl. We've been going for quite a while now. I know y'all got things to do. It's Friday night. Okay. So I'm going to try to keep this going and wrap this up. So we're going to end this with nothing else. Huh? Penny, I still hope you're here, girl. Huh? Hobb Emotional Support Group. If you're here, we're here, huh? What I'm about to talk about will be spoiler free, but I do want to give a dissertation of some sorts. I definitely appreciate everyone who is, please make sure you like, comment, and subscribe on the channel if you haven't done so. If you're looking at this, huh? You see my smiling face, huh? You can subscribe. Okay. So yes. Woo! Where? Oh, I need to take a sip. This is... Woo! Oh yeah, Penny. Woo! You guys, Hobb. So if you don't know by now, I am a Hobb enthusiast. I will link my Hobb Realm of the Elderling playlist in the description below so you can catch up on all my thoughts about all the things. They're all spoiler free, so I will not spoil. And in thinking about these two books, also, I will say this is the Realm of the Elderling 16-book series. Robin Hobb has grown to be my favorite author, literally of all time. One of my favorite fantasy authors, legit. She's my favorite fantasy author. It was George R. Martin, but I think Robin Hobb has definitely has taken the cake. And I just really appreciate the time that she took to tell her story. And I feel like I'm about to tear up talking about Hobb. When did this happen? How did I become misty-eyed talking about Hobb? But yeah, the 16-book series, and I'm going to finish this year out strong reading Robin Hobb. Look at the annotations, you guys. Look at the annotations. At some point, and look at this one. This one is not as much, the Golden Fool, but they continue to increase as you go. But Fool's Fate. Okay, so this is book 8 and book 9 in the Tawny Man trilogy. We are following Fitz Chivalry Farseer. He is an adult now, between the ages of 35. He's about 35 years old, and we're on the journey with him and all the things that he's learned. And in the Golden Fool, this book was so emotionally, it just had me in a straight up chokehold. Like it just had me in a straight up chokehold. Like I could not, because at this point in time, this is the Golden Fool. And also too, I appreciate y'all staying here for this, because when I'm actually going to do a video, and I'm probably going to review both of these books together, because it's just no way I could do a standalone review without talking about one or the other. But Hobb is a huge commitment. But I'm telling you, if you just go in with no expectations and give it a try, the audiobooks are amazing. But again, I'm gonna link all of that in the description box below so you can check it out. But the Golden Fool was like where everything that I have read up until that point, the previous 7 books, led up to all of the emotional and relational dynamics. Like there have been things that have been on pause all the way up. Like Hobb has been like, I see what you see that. I told you about that, but we're going to talk about that later. She gives you significant payoff. Like if you hang in there with Hobb, you will be rewarded. And it is such a wonderful experience to be rewarded for getting farther along in a series and in a book. And it's in literally, like, I see why so many people love Robin Hobb. And there is a reason why there is a Hobb sob. You're going to be crying. Robin Hobb is going to tell you all the things that she's going to tell you when she feel like telling you and how she feel like telling you. And you're going to sit there and read it because she said so. And you're going to be like, yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. You're going to be there for it. I'm not even going to hold you. Like legit, like this series was just, this book in and of itself wrecked me. There was one scene that happened between Fitz and another character, and I read it 4 times because all of the emotional tension that's been carried literally for 20 years. Because at this point, we follow Fitz from the ages of, now, you know, my Jesus math is different now. My math be different than everybody else's math. So y'all do the real math. But I'm just saying, Fitz is 6 years old. We follow him all the way up until 35 years old up at this point. And it's like there's 20 years of unanswered questions, romantic tension, I'm going to say it, relationship tension, and then Fitz looking at situations with now the understanding of as an adult. So now he is an adult now, and he has to reevaluate people, or the people he's been in relationship with, friendships, father figures, all romantic things in a different light. And he realizes that he's been very nearsighted. And he's closed people off when they have all been open with him. Now, granted, folks have used him up and abused him. He's been through a lot of things. Fitz has been incredibly traumatized. Like, I'm not even gonna hold you. Like, the things that he has to bear, the sacrifices that he gave up, and the kingdom is always asking him to do more. And he continues to do it out of duty, out of loyalty, not because he wants to. And so it's like, man, all of these, the juxtaposition between all of these different responsibilities versus relationship, and how it fits processing all of that. And I'm gonna tell you, he ain't processing nothing. Fitz ain't processing nothing. And mind you, he finally reads the scrolls. So for about 15 years or so, he won't read any scrolls. It's like the accelerated reading program. I'll link the video below. He ain't read the scrolls. At this point, he gets to reading the scrolls, and then he gets answers, and then he's like, oh, okay. And then he feel like he on his game, and then he acted crazy. He's not really reading the room. So it's just like, oh, and then all of the other points of, it's like Hobb is just, and I kind of had evidence of how she could do that in the Livestream Trader series, okay, which was the second trilogy in the realm of the Elderlings that I read earlier this year. And she can build up the tension. When you think you're there, you're really not there. Like, she's building that tension all the way up, and she just keeps you there. And then you move on to something else, and then you forget that you've been in tension about this one thing, and she just boom drops the mic on you, and you can't. There was so much of this happen. I literally read this on the floor in my room, in this room, looking at on the floor. Me and Elliot laid out on the floor, because this book took me to a place. Granted, there's not a lot of plot that happens here, right? There's not a lot of plot movement. Let me rephrase that. There is a lot of relational plot that happens. There is a lot of shifting of alliances. There is a lot of familial family dynamics that come into play. Scenes that you're like, I wanted him to meet this person this time, but then this person shows up and Fitz ain't seen nothing. And it's like, is this the moment that it's going to happen? And she's like, nah, that ain't the moment. That ain't the moment. But then you think another moment's going to happen. She's like, oh, it's going to happen. And you're not ready for it. You're never ready for it. And then as well, or in addition to Fitz, I'm sorry, I'm just going on. In addition to Fitz, trying to like figure out like all the things in his relationships, the world is changing. Like, the political landscape is changing. All of these different fantastical things are happening in the world of the realm of the Elderlings. And it's like, I still don't know why it's called the realm of the Elderlings. I ain't hold you. I'm 9 books in. I don't know why it's called the realm of the Elderlings just yet. I have an idea, but for some reason, Hobb is going to answer that when she feels like answering it. And then book 9, Fool's Fate. I have about 20% left. Penny, I appreciate you so much. And I'll be hitting you up. I wanted to really finish this today so I could talk about it today, but the day just got away from me and I wasn't able to do so. But I tell you what, a whole lot is happening. And I wasn't ready for any of it. In a way, I kind of was expecting some of it, but it's just it's so captivating. It's heartbreaking. But then what I love about Hobb as well, she makes her characters go through things, just like all of us. Like, we go through life. We have pain. We have hurt. We have suffering. We have people who've hurt us, people who've used us. It's just life, right? Robin paints that picture through the lens of Fitz very vividly. However, when there is joy to be had, when there is a moment of pause that Fitz can breathe, and that the characters can really have a moment to be like, when they actually take it in, that's where it shines. That's where you see the balance and the mirror of life and the themes that come through so strong about loyalty and about really loving someone in spite of unconditional love. And Fitz is seeing unconditional love in a different way and accepting unconditional love. And that's very hard for him to do. And it's just so powerful. And then the plot of what's happening in the world, and all of the pieces are hanging in place, and we still don't know. Like, I'm in book 9, I still don't know what's going on. And Hobb will like give you exposition and fantastical details and all the things when you and I asking for it. You want her to talk about this one thing, and she like, yeah, no, but I'm gonna talk to you about this. And you're like, oh, I did need to know about that. Thank you for telling me. Hence all the tabs, because she explains so much. And I gotta go back. It gets to a point where like you annotate, and like, you know, in the beginning, like I'm highlighting, I'm doing all the things. But I get to this, I can't. Let me just tag it and keep moving, because literally a whole page will just be of an answer. And her writing is so beautiful, so intentional, so transformative as far as Fitz. This is first person, but man, you feel the entire weight of Fitz and everything that he's been through. And I'm telling you guys, Robin Hobb is the queen. She's the strong back for a reason. Legit strong back for a reason, you guys. Legit. Lindsay, I'm so glad you're starting your journey. Penny, you ain't never lied, girl. They're very, very emotional. You really need the break. And, you know, it's right, because I actually took between Live Ship Traders, the last book, like that, I still think about that book. I'm not even gonna hold you. Like Ship of Destiny, I still think about Ship of Destiny now. I still think about all of the books, and I'm not even gonna hold you, because there is implication, like there is consequences from way back then here. And that's what makes it so, like, there is nothing that is left unturned. You may feel like Hobb is not going to explain that, but she will explain it, and you'll understand as you go through why that is. And you're going to be so glad about it, because you hung in there. And Hobb is not the series, you want to rush through. It's like she makes you slow down. She makes you breathe in the characters. She makes you feel the weight of the situation that you're in. And it's just turned into a comfort read for me. Like when I'm feeling away, I'm like, man, I need to read some Hobb, because it's just like a warm hug in the most unexpected way that I didn't see coming. I really didn't see it coming. I'm not even gonna hold y'all. November 2021, I didn't see that I'd be here reading Hobb like this, so thoroughly invested in it, and so appreciative of the reading experience. Literally one of the best reading experiences I've ever had. But you're definitely going to need a break, because after the end of Ship of Destiny, I read I don't think I picked up Hobb again till like October. I think I went from May to October and didn't read a Hobb book. I had it out. I think it was book 9. I had it out with intentions, but every time I picked it up, I said, no, I can't. I'm not ready, because then I'll remember, oh God, I'm back with Fitz. Lord have mercy, what I'm about to do. But yes, exactly. She loves to make you hurt. Jesus mad, Lindsay, you know. Poor old Fitz. Fitz got on my nerves. I'm reading them darn scrolls. Yes, sis, you got to get back to Hobb. Stacy, sister, welcome. Thank you for joining in. Hello. I think you would really enjoy Hobb. I think you really would enjoy Hobb. I do. I hope you do. But if it fall, it fall. You know, I ain't gonna hold nobody. Look, y'all can try it. If it fall, it fall. But I tell you, it's one experience that I've had a wonderful time reading, and I just can't get enough. Tiffany says, oh wow, so Assassin's Apprentice is the first book. Yes, Assassin's Apprentice is the first book, and it definitely, you start off with Fitz at six years old, and it's kind of like a slice of life in the beginning, following Fitz as he's learning about different things, and to be with the characters and see them grow up is just, it's just so good. Oh, thank you, Amanda. You love how I can, yeah, spoiler free is the way. I really try. Penny says, yeah, we've got hints of Everlings even now, book 10. More. Oh my God, just hints. I can't. I'm going to annotate when I read the series a second time. Yeah, it's so good. So good. Yeah, so well, you guys, I am going to end it up. I don't want to go. I got some book mail for some friends, and so I definitely want to give them a shout out as well. I was gifted the Blue Castle by L.M.M. Montgomery by Kelly Reads a Lot. She was so thoughtful. Girl, if you see this, I appreciate you and I love you. Thank you for thinking of me so much for this book. I'm really excited. I know Amanda and Miriam and everybody was reading in October and I felt left out, but I read Anne. I read Anne of Green Gables, and so now I get to read another one of L.M. Montgomery's books, and I can't wait for it. I really can't. And then Bethany, bookworm girl, Bethany, girl, thank you so much. She gifted me the Magpie Murders, which is this is just a group of mysteries, and like they're legit cold mysteries, and so I cannot wait to read this. And then a classic, A Quiet Life in the Country by T.E. Kinsley. Haven't read this, but this is like OG, Agatha, like probably, I don't know if this is prior to Agatha Christie, but definitely in that same type of cozy mystery vibe. And we love to see it. So I just definitely want to thank thank these young ladies for these books and your kindness. I really appreciate it so much. And then at Barnes & Noble, a Christmas gift, my Mr. Librarian, my husband, got for me, The Boy, the Mole, the Fox, and the Horse. This is the animated story. One of my favorite books of all time. Definitely a book I want to read to the entire world. And it's in color, so I had to get it. But I want to thank y'all so much for coming in the chat, for staying with me this whole time. Almost been 2 hours. I thank y'all so much. I thank you so much. Oh my goodness. And I just want to tell you that I appreciate y'all so much and hanging out here with me and all the shenanigans and false started. But I have some everybody. May the Lord bless you. Bye, everybody. Good night. Good night. Bye, everybody. Thank you so much. Play. Love you, bro. Happy New Year, everybody.